Gretchen, and welcome back to my channel. I am very excited for today's video because it's a get ready with me, which I love doing. Get ready with me is talking with y'all about certain things going on in my life and just seeing how you all are doing. But it's also a first impressions get ready with me. And I don't think I've really done first impressions too much on my channel, but I'd love to do more. And so my first impressions today are gonna be using Milk Makeup's Hydro Eyeshadow Primer for the first time. And I mentioned how I love their face primer, but I've never actually used their eyeshadow primer before. So in this video, I try it for the first time. And then there's a brand new product from Anastasia Beverly Hills, which is their new eyeshadow palette, Nouveau. And when I saw the color story for this one, I had to try it because I love this so much. Greens and golds are some of my favorite color schemes. So when I saw this, I had to try it. So if you're interested in the look that I went for today and to just catch up and chat with me a bit, keep watching. Hello, and welcome back to another Get Ready With Me video. I'm excited for this one because I'm trying new products. One is new to me and then one is new to everyone pretty much. The products that I'm gonna be using today is the new palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm really excited about this one because of the color scheme. It's got a lot of like greens, browns, and golds in it. I'm really excited. And then the other product that I'm using for the first time is Milk Makeup's Hydro Grip Eye Primer. I love their face primer. Now I'm gonna try their eye primer, so I'm really excited about that. So as always with me, I start with my eyes first. I know everyone else starts with their face. I can't do it. I tried for a while. I just can't do it. So we're gonna start with my eyes first. So we're gonna start with the eye primer. I was expecting this to be a little bit bigger, but I'm sure it'll probably last for a while. I imagine it's the same as face primer. I've only used Urban Decay's eyeshadow primer up until this point, but I don't really use too many other eye primers. I guess that was enough. It looks like it's on there. I also always go ahead and just put on my regular primer just so it has time to like sink into the skin by the time that I finish my eyes and can move on to my face makeup, just so it has a little bit of time and isn't still wet. It gives it a chance to be tacky almost by the time I get to my face makeup. And then if you've been around for a bit, you know that I had started using this trick that I found on, I want to say Reddit, where you take eyeshadow primer and you put it on your nose for those of us who get makeup that cakes on the nose. And I have found that it has definitely helped a bit. I mean, it hasn't gotten rid of the cakiness like fully, but it definitely looks better now than it did before when I would put just like regular primer on the nose. I don't know, maybe it's playing tricks on me. Who knows? But we try it and it seems to work. Since I do start with the eyes, we're gonna go ahead and open up the palette. I haven't even opened it yet. I got it yesterday. I'm filming this on Sunday and so I got this on Saturday. I don't know exactly when this came out, but I don't think it's been out for very long. I like the texture of this palette. A little ASMR for y'all. It's got actual like texture to it. Love this color scheme though, this green with the gold. And then, ooh. Oh my God, these are really pretty. Sorry, I don't mean to blind y'all with my ring light, but look how pretty these colors are. I really want to play with Hope, I feel like, which is this green shimmer down there. Oh, I don't even know what else. There's so many pretty ones. The only one in here that I'm sitting there going like, am I ever going to use that is Wisteria, which is that random purple one there. And I get why they put it in there. I love the color scheme of green and purple together. Not necessarily a fan of that shade of purple, even though I absolutely love Wisteria. I love the name of that. It definitely looks like the flower. I don't know how often I'd actually use it on me, but I really like how this looks. So I think the look that I want to create today uses Hope, which is the green shimmer, Liberty, which is the matte green, Muse, and Paloma. I think those are the ones I want to use. I don't know. We'll see once I start playing with it. Maybe even a little bit of Isle. We're gonna play with this. We're gonna have some fun. I don't really like have a whole lot to chat about. I can't quite remember the last time, like what we were talking about. I think the last Get Ready With Me, I did a Q&A. I'm gonna go ahead and start with my fluffy brush like I usually do and go in with Paloma over here. I don't even want to touch this. It's so pretty new, but I know I got to. If I want to use it, I got it. I'm just gonna go in here. A little bit of fallout, but I feel like that's pretty standard with Anastasia Beverly Hills' products. There is a little bit of fallout I've noticed with the palettes that I have. And yes, I realize this shade is very pale on me, but I do like to go in and start off in the crease and then above the crease with a lighter shade. Just kind of blend it out a little bit to start things off. And you probably can't really tell too much on me. So far, I like the eyeshadow primer. I'm one of those people that really can't tell too much of a difference from when I use eyeshadow primer and if I accidentally forget it, but I do feel like it's sticking a little bit better. Let's see, I kind of want to start right in the center. I'm going to use the glitter primer from NYX. I'm going to put a little bit on this brush because I do have nails, which makes it a little bit difficult to just put it on my eye right now. Usually I just put this primer right onto my finger and just place in the center. But with longer nails, it makes it a little bit difficult. So I'm going to use this brush, this concealer brush, and just apply it that way. And because I am not the person who can do one eye at a time, and what I do on one eye I immediately have to do on the other, I'm gonna go ahead and put that glitter primer on this eye. I always start with my right eye whenever I'm applying stuff. So I'm gonna go in with this brush. I'm gonna pick up Hope and just, ooh, okay. I like it. Right in the center. I like how that looks. That is really heckin' pretty. Add it in a little bit more, right in the center of the eyelid. Get up into the crease a little bit. And then we do the same on the other side. There's a little bit of fallout. You can see it kind of falling underneath my eye some. It's not terrible. I've seen worse. Also, for those who are not used to my get ready with me's, I'm definitely less chatty when I'm doing my eyes, but then once I start doing my face, that's when the chatty part comes out. I like how this is looking. I like how it's looking. Let's go outer corner a little bit over here with Muse. Y'all know me. I love makeup. My terminology is sometimes off. So like Lily, Hope, most of them are shimmers, but to me, Muse doesn't really look like a shimmer, even though it is. It's not a matte. So like, I don't know the words for these, but I'm gonna go in with a little brush and just like pat it into the corner, go up into the crease a little bit, go on top of what I just did, because then I'm gonna blend it out. Looks a little rough right now, but I like makeup. Am I good at it? Not really, but somehow things come together in the end when I do my makeup. I'm gonna take a clean, fluffy brush and just kind of blend it out a little bit, blend it into the green, which is Hope. Gotta remember these names when I'm doing this, otherwise I'm gonna just be like, that really pretty shimmery green. And then I think for the inner corner, I'm gonna go in to the matte green over here, which is Liberty. And I think that's what I'm gonna do right here and blend it in a little bit. Well, that ended up being a little bit darker than I anticipated. Doesn't seem that dark in the pan, but it's definitely darker when you put it on your eyelid. Interesting. But it's not bad. It's turning out slightly more moody than I was planning, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. In there and just blend it a little bit. Might go back in with the first shade that I had and just like blend the top part. Because I really wanted to focus on the greens this time because that's what drew me to this palette were the greens. Going back in with the original shade that I had just to kind of brighten things up here a little bit. I promise usually my looks come together in the end. They look muddy during the process. I am definitely a trust the process makeup person. And then for lower lash line, now that I see that that green Liberty is a little bit darker than I was anticipating, I'm actually gonna use that one for the lower lash line. Blend it out a little bit. We're gonna clean it up. This is why I do my eye makeup first, because then I can clean it up with foundation and concealer. I think I do wanna go to like the inner corner of my eye with Isle right here, which is a light gold shimmer, and just pick up a little bit of that and put that in the corner. I don't know, add a little something. Add another color from this palette to the look. Oh, I like how that turned out. Again, it's looking a little darker than I anticipated. I was hoping that it would be like dark to light, but that green turned out to be a little bit darker than I was anticipating. That's okay, we can make it work. All right, so that's the eye look before I like add any liner or lashes to it. I'm gonna go ahead and do that and I will be right back because I'll have to edit out like 10 minutes of footage while I'm doing this. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera and I'll be right back, but I'll tell you what the products are when I come back. All right, I'm back after putting on my lashes and liner. So for lashes, using my Black Moon Cosmetics in the style Cancer. They're my absolute favorites. And eyeliner, I did use my also favorite, NYX Epic Ink Liner. Now we can move on to the face and I can actually chat. Also, if you notice, I've changed my facial jewelry. I'm not picking my nose. I'm just pushing the horseshoe up there so that I can get makeup a little bit easier on my nose. But I did change out my nostril piercing to a hoop. No, Gretchen wearing a hoop? Who is she? Because I'm usually not a huge fan of hoops in nostril piercings. I'm not a fan in them as initial jewelry. Once it's healed though, totally fine. I just hadn't found a hoop that I like. So I finally found one. However, I did order another size so it doesn't like move as much. It hugs the nose a little bit more, so probably changing it out. And I kind of missed having a horseshoe and being able to flip it up when I wanted to. And then I got new Philtrum jewelry because this one just seemed more sparkly or something. So today's foundation, Born This Way in Snow. Born This Way by Too Faced. And this is where we're gonna clean up that fallout. How has everyone been since the last Get Ready With Me, which has been a bit. The last one was a Q&A Get Ready With Me. I asked y'all on Instagram, like if anyone had questions for me, I would answer them in that video. That was pretty fun. So how's everyone been since then? Hopefully good. I am still in the thick of wedding planning. We did get our engagement photos back, which are gorgeous, and we've booked a few more vendors, I believe, since the last time we spoke here. I finally booked my florist, and we are currently booking our baker for the cake. We're gonna do something small for the cake. We're not gonna do a big one just because we are doing a dessert bar with our caterer, and so we're doing a dessert bar, and we're also doing a s'mores bar, which was the element that I've been wanting since I was like 15 years old. So I was like, I have to have this. So we already have like a crap ton of desserts. So we were like, well, we don't really need like a massive cake. So what we might be doing instead is doing a small cake just for like us and the wedding party and family or what have you. And then like maybe cupcakes for everyone else. Just because, you know, you go to a wedding, you didn't expect cake. So I don't want to like deprive of cake either, even though we're having the mini dessert bar and the s'mores bar. So there's a lot of dessert. I promise there's actual food there too. So that's what we're currently doing. We have a taste test for the cake at the end of July. I think that'll be good. I'm excited for it. We're tasting 3 different flavors. We're tasting vanilla, spice, and confetti. Because like we were looking at the available flavor options from this one place that I found, and they have so many different options and you get to pick 3 for your taste testing. And I was like, okay, let's do like a basic flavor, a seasonal flavor, and then like a fun one. So that's why we did vanilla, because I feel like more people probably like vanilla cake than they do chocolate. So I know plenty of people who don't like chocolate at all. So I don't want to have like a chocolate cake and then people can't have it. Even though again, our cupcakes just might be standard like grocery store bought cupcakes or something like that. I don't know. Haven't gotten to that point yet. Think we have a little bit of time for that. I could be very wrong. I guess this is why people get wedding planners, huh? I guess I should have done that. Oopsie. But since we are getting married in the fall, I was like, ooh, spice would be a good option. I was like, I'm not a huge fan of pumpkin flavored things. Like I like pumpkin, don't get me wrong. It's just not my favorite, but spice sounded really good to me. So I was like, ooh, let's do spice as our like seasonal option. And then who doesn't like confetti? Who doesn't like confetti cake, you know? Confetti cake is just so good and fun, and like, you know, you show up to a wedding and they have confetti cake as their wedding cake. I don't know, I would be all over that. We're doing that at the end of July. We've gotten our officiant so we can actually have someone marry us. That's pretty cool. Caterer, venue, photographer, florist, officiant. I guess our next step is basically to send out invites. That would be helpful to do. I'm looking at possibly a videographer just because people who have gotten married before, if they didn't have a videographer, they say that they wish they had one. If they did have one, they say that it was unnecessary. So it's like, I'd rather have it and think it was unnecessary than not have it and wish I had it. You know, so like if you have a videographer and then you realize, well, that wasn't really something I needed to do, you at least have it in case you change your mind later on. But if you don't do a videographer and then wish later on, man, I'd love to have that video. I think you can't really win in that situation, but you can at least make it better by having the thing and then realizing, I didn't need it. By the way, I do use like 3 different concealers. Yes, I know. Probably way too much. I don't need to actually have 3 concealers, but I like to do it. So for the highlights on my face, I use my KVD Beauty concealer. I still don't know exactly what it's called. Lightweight full coverage concealer. I mean, I guess that's the name. For imperfections on my face, I use Born This Way, the Too Faced concealer, so to go along with the foundation. And then on my nose, I use a different concealer, and currently I am using NYX's Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer. So yes, 3 different concealers. There's always like this one spot on my nose that never wants to accept anything. Concealer, foundation, nothing. It just like goes into a void. I'm like, what is wrong with you, nose? Before I put on setting powder, I always put on setting spray just to help it sit in a little bit more. Yeah, so that's where we are wedding wise. We need to do invites. We need to do transportation. We need to do it. DJ. I think those are the big things remaining that we need to do. Yes, cool. We're making progress. Oh yeah, my bridesmaids have all gotten their dresses or ordered them. We actually did that this weekend. They were like, oh, so worst case scenario, these dresses will be in the end of October. The wedding is in November. And we're like, okay, worst case scenario, end of October, so I'll be pushing it for any kind of like hemming or anything that may need to be done. And they were like, more likely than not, it'll come in mid-September. I'm like, okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. I'm glad that they give us the worst case scenario of things, but it's also just like, please don't let it be worst case scenario. I think while the setting powder is on, I'm gonna go ahead and just fill in my eyebrows a little bit with Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. My eyebrows are tattooed on, but I always fill them in a little bit more just so they stand out some. So that's it on the wedding front. Pretty much what's taken up the majority of my life right now. Wedding stuff, and then still trying to figure out the housing process and just like what we can afford. The housing market seems like it might be getting better a little bit. We go on Zillow and we just kind of look at things, and it does look like some prices are coming down. Maybe that's wishful thinking, maybe that's just the location, I don't know, but it seems like it might be coming down a little bit. Also, MVP of the day is the nail glue that I have just lying around, because I was walking Ivan earlier, and Ivan sometimes overreacts to things going around him, and so someone was like hammering and sawing, and it really freaked Ivan out a bit. So I was trying to rein him in some and calm him down, and in the process my fingernail got caught in his harness and completely snapped off. It just came right on off. And you know, I don't use like professionally done artificial nails often. I do like press-ons, which the whole thing would have just come off at that point, but because these are dip powder, they're on there pretty snug, and that sucker just popped right on off. This one tried to, I'm not flipping y'all off, but it was my middle finger, tried to come on off, and I'm sitting there going like, ha ha ha. And so I'm sitting there going like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to go get these fixed, because there was no way I was gonna be okay with having half a nail. That would have just not been an option for me. I've been like, that looks great. But I did have some nail glue, so as a temporary fix, I put a little bit on there and I put it back on. So from a distance, you can't tell. Up close, you can see that crack. So until I can get back in and fix my nails, I think I'm gonna have these removed. Like just take the fake nails off and just get a gel manicure, just a regular gel polish on top, because they've gotten pretty long. I can see them underneath. And as much as I love having longer nails, they do get in the way. I think I'm gonna go some point soon, get them taken off and just do like a regular old gel polish. And then I don't have to worry about it getting caught on anything. Now we're gonna go in with contour, bronzer, blah, 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 all the stuff. I always start with my nose first for it, so that's why I'm dusting away on my nose. And today I'm using Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I'd forgotten how much I actually like this stuff. I've been using it a lot recently. So how's everyone's summer going so far? I know, wait, it's by the time that this video goes up, it's still not even technically summer, is it? When is the first day of summer? Oh, it's Tuesday. So when this video goes up, that'll be the first day of summer. So how is everyone's summer going? I know technically it won't be until this video goes up, but you know, I don't know about anyone else, but it has been hot as I don't know what here on the East Coast the last few days. I know the Midwest has also been getting hit with the heat too, but God, there was a day this past week that it was like 94 but felt like 102 outside. That was a no thank you for me. I don't like being cold. I like being warm because I'm always cold, but even that was a little too much for me. I don't know how people say that summer is their favorite season. Though I saw something the other day that said a lot of people who say that summer is their favorite season base it off of the fact that it's been like ingrained in our heads that summer was our off time from like school and stuff like that. So it was like ingrained in our head, and we like associated it with a good time because we weren't in school or anything like that. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Summer is still not my favorite season. Fall is. Speaking of which, speaking of fall, ooh, we can talk about that. Who is ready for spooky season? Yes, I know. I just mentioned that the first day of summer will be when this video uploads, but like I said, I don't like summer. So we're gonna skip past summer in Gretchen's world, and we're gonna go on to fall, spooky season. Who else is ready for spooky season? Because I certainly am. I started thinking about like content that I can do for spooky season. We know that some stores are gonna start putting out fall decor and stuff like that pretty soon, especially like my favorite, At Home. They're probably gonna start very soon putting stuff out, which I am more than ready for. It was coming up on like this time last year, I found my huge jack-o'-lantern. I would like plug in lit jack-o'-lantern from them. It was around this time, I think it was like early July that I found that. Kind of wish I had gotten to, so hopefully they have it again this year. I'll be interested to see what like themes stores have. Like Michael's always has several themes, it feels like, when it comes to spooky season decor. They also have a lot of like fall stuff, but I am very much like into the Halloween decor. So I'm very excited, and I've been thinking about like content to do. So something I thought about was starting in August, and like August through September, film a different like Halloween look, like Halloween makeup, outfit look, something like that. And then come October, post it all so I can have like 2 posts a week of the looks that I came up with. Because I only did one last year. I did like a Patrick Bateman look for American Psycho. It wasn't like really thought out or anything like that. It was kind of just thrown together. I still like how it looked. Lesson learned though, definitely read like SFX bottles and stuff like that, because I put blood on my face that was not meant for skin. Who would have thunk? So definitely, if you're gonna do any kind of makeup looks this year, make sure that you read the labels and make sure that it can go on skin. That was not fun trying to get that off last year. A little scary actually, because it stained my face a little bit, but luckily I had cleansers and I had toners that helped remove some of the stain, but for a bit my face was very red and not happy. For blush today, I'm using my Tarte Tartlet in Risque, which is like a, I don't know, it's like a peachy nude almost. We need a little bit liven the cheeks up. I think that goes well with the eyeshadow. But yeah, so I'm really excited about spooky season. I've got plans already. I want to do more vlogs, like the shop with me, come Halloween decor hunting with me, stuff like that. I'll pull out Skelly again. Skelly's been sitting in my living room since winter time, so Skelly will come with me again. But I'm looking forward to it. I know some people are probably like, oh my god, it's not even summer yet, and I'm like, oh my god, I wish it was over. For highlight today, I am using Snickeroons highlighter from Beauty Bakery. Sugarcoat everything. I love this stuff. It's so little. I wish I had a bigger one of it, but I think this works with the eyeshadow. I am gonna go back in with the brush that I used for my under eye and smoke it out a little bit more, because I do think the concealer kind of took away from it. And so for lower lash line, I go in with the Urban Decay Glide On Pencil in 0 and just kind of add a little bit. Then I go in with mascara. Now that the upper lashes have had time to adhere themselves, I always go in with a mascara and just kind of help blend the natural lashes with the fake ones. Just a little bit, not too much though. So that is the face, which I think it all turned out. But now I gotta do the lips. And so for lips today, I'm gonna be using Mourning from Black Moon Cosmetics. It's the lightest shade, so I don't think it'll take away from the eyes. When I do like a darker eye, I like to do a lighter lipstick, so I think that one works. Kind of like how it looks. Let's put some setting spray on. I always do at least 2 setting sprays, sometimes 3. And there you have it, me trying Anastasia Beverly Hills new palette, Nouveau, for the first time. Kind of like a first impressions. I definitely recommend this one if you're into the color story. Of course, I also recommend just Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes in general. Like if you can only get one, the Soft Glam one is still my favorite. Hands down, love that palette so much, and I'm so glad that I finally got it. So if you're into that color story, I definitely recommend this one. These shades are absolutely gorgeous. A little bit of fallout, but that's pretty much how a lot of Anastasia Beverly Hills' palettes are. It's not the worst that I've ever seen. It's noticeable. You just clean it up, move on. But I really like this one a lot. Also, well, ASMR for you. You're welcome. Not just a look. But that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this get ready with me. Talk a little bit about wedding stuff, like wedding updates, as well as some spooky season on the horizon updates. I'm ready for spooky season, but let me not take away from what I think about this palette. I do think this is a great palette. If you are into this color story, I definitely recommend picking it up. I also just really, really enjoy Anastasia Beverly Hills' eyeshadow palettes in general. So I love it. If you're into the color story, definitely recommend it. Special thank you to my patrons. You can help support the channel on Patreon while having access to videos early, viewing patron-only content, and more. But that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up. Go on down there and hit that subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell so YouTube will let you know when I upload next. But until next time, bye y'all!